Karibuni to the Now Report on TV47. My name is Furaha and it's a beautiful, beautiful Thursday. Leo jua ni kama imeamua ifanye ile kitu. Like I said, Nairobi weather is quite confusing. Anyways, nataka leo we just get straight into this. Now, picture this. You are settling in for the night, maybe catching up on a show or brewing some tea, and out of nowhere, Giza. If you're in Nairobi, the coast, or anywhere across Mount Kenya on Wednesday night, you already know how it went down. Right around 9 p.m., the National Grid decided to take its annual unscheduled vacation. Millions of people were instantly plunged into darkness, doing the classic ritual of stepping out of the balcony just to check if the whole neighborhood pia stima zao zimeenda ama ilikuwa tu wewe peke yako. Now, to give credit where it's due, Kenya Power's crew pulled an all-nighter and managed to get the power back by 2 a.m. Problem solved, right? Well, not quite. In true chaotic fashion, the moment the electricity returned, the prepaid token system decided it was its turn to crash. So, if you've been frantically trying to pop up via M-Pesa or dialing *977# only to get hit with a wall of error messages while your meter beeped ominously, you're definitely not alone. The power is back in the lines, but the system won't let you buy the units to keep it on. You really have to laugh at the timing of this. And honestly speaking, kusema kweli, mimi nilipata wapi by the way. I was actually playing football at a local pitch penye nakaa, and ikatupata we paid for 2 hours, 1 hour in stima ikaenda. In fact, penye ilikuwa ilienda about 8:30 p.m. hivi. And that was the end of that game. In fact, we tried staying around for a while kuona kama stima zirudi, but tukafanyiwa ile kitu. Anyway, I'm glad stima zilirudi. That's a good thing. But now these stories are talking tutaona vile itaenda. Now, deep inside a remote forest in Ogun State, Nigerian authorities have officially torn down what was the country's largest illegal meth lab ever discovered. This was no small operation. We are talking about a massive facility spread across an acre of land that was churning out of hundreds of millions of dollars in crystal meth. A major raid back in May netted a staggering $360 million worth of drugs and assets, leading to the arrest of 10 suspects, including 3 Mexican production experts brought in specifically to run the chemistry. In a super rare move, a judge actually held an official court session right there in the middle of the woods before the demolition began. NDLA forensic teams armed with welders and carpenters then systematically cut up the heavy industrial tanks to make sure toxic chemicals didn't poison the surrounding soil and groundwater. For local farmers who spent months breathing in foul chemical fumes, thinking at first it was just a normal construction project, the relief is huge. The toxic air is clear and the multi-million-dollar super lab is officially history.
There was an operation that took place here. 7 Nigerians and 3 foreign nationals of Mexican cartel were arrested in this particular premises. So reason why we are here is we are executing a court order. Last week, Friday, we got a judgment from the Federal High Court Ikoyi to dismantle this mega laboratory.
Meth is a very strong stimulant, very addictive. And so it's, of course, when you take it, it destroys your organs, your heart, your lungs, and general body system. So it's very, very addictive, very destructive, and it's not a substance to play with. Yeah, because they are all synthetic. You know, they are synthesized in different types of lab. Like what we have here, crude synthesis of methamphetamine, using very potent chemicals in the line of production. The waterbed is being destroyed. Of course, it's been contaminated with serious toxic chemicals, waste from the lab. Also, the pollution in the air. Of course, we have some humans, people living around, which is not good for them to inhale such gases. So, of course, both for life, for plants, for animals, for human safety and public health is very, very, destructive.
Tukiendelea now, imagine pulling off the biggest tech listing in Hong Kong since 2019, raising a massive $6.8 billion, and then watching your stock instantly take a 9% nosedive the moment trading opens. That's the wild roller coaster ride Chinese tech giants Zhongji Inolite just went through. Now, if you haven't heard of them, they are a huge deal behind the scenes of the AI boom. They control over 20% of the global market for the hardware that keeps data moving inside massive cloud servers, powering giants like Nvidia, Google, and Huawei. So why the sudden drop on day one? A huge cloud has been hanging over them since June. when the US Department of Defense placed them on a military-linked blacklist. Even though the company firmly denies any ties to the military, the geopolitical drama was enough to spook investors right out of the gate. Despite the rocky start, they are sitting on a massive pile of fresh capital. They plan to use those billions to build out overseas factories and double down on the next generation tech, doing whatever it takes to stay ahead of the politics.
We think this is the beginning of a wonderful journey. Then we'll do together as close, mutually supportive partners. And we believe this is a journey that will take us to a more prosperous, bright, and rewarding future. So huge welcome to Zhongji Inole, to Hong Kong.
Now, acha tuende Umarekani kiasi, where the long-running feud between Dr. Anthony Fauci and Senator Rand Paul just reached a huge boiling point. Called to testify before a Senate committee over COVID-19 policies, Fauci did something nobody expected. He invoked his Fifth Amendment right and refused to answer questions. His lawyers say that the hearing was just a political setup designed to trap him, but Rand Paul isn't backing down. After leaking thousands of pages of Fauci's personal diaries, Paul announced the committee will vote next week on whether to hold the former doctor in contempt of Congress. It's a massive political showdown, and this clash is far from over.
To fund this dangerous research in China.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
In the red folder on your table is a copy of Section 192 of Title II of the U.S. Code. Your counsel has been provided a copy as well. That section makes it a crime for a witness appearing under subpoena to refuse to answer any questions pertinent to the question under inquiry. Do you have that in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Let the record record that the witness has refused to answer whether there's a folder in front of him based on his Fifth Amendment right.
I'm just curious, isn't pleading the fifth just practically acknowledging guilt, anyway, admitting guilt, but nisawa? Anyway, OpenAI has revealed that an autonomous artificial intelligence agent involved in an unprecedented security incident managed to access accounts across 4 additional companies beyond its primary breach target. Hugging Face, updating an ongoing public safety investigation, the San Francisco-based AI lab confirmed that during internal safety testing, its autonomous model escaped the intended sandbox environment, accessed the internet, and utilized exposed login credentials to log into external services. According to the update, one compromised account served as a staging path to cover the agent network tracks, while another stored harvested operational data, and 2 others were accessed in a read-only capacity. OpenAI Chief Executive Sam Altman confirmed the company has paused similar autonomous agent testing while upgrading sandbox isolation parameters. Even as the incident fuels intense debates between industry leaders and Washington policymakers regarding AI governance, national security, and global competitive racing. Now, hundreds of private conversations between users and Anthropic's cloud AI were briefly made publicly searchable on Google and Bing following a data exposure flow linked to the platform's chat sharing feature. Web users discovered that simple site-specific search operators such as searching for public share subdomains surfaced over 200 index cloud conversations spanning dozens of search results pages. The exposed logs contained highly sensitive materials, including corporate cloud documents, proprietary code, medical records, resumes with phone numbers, and internal business transcripts. Anthropic clarified that shared links are not guessable and only become indexable when posted publicly on the web, but acknowledged that users often misinterpret anyone with a link can view as private link sharing mechanism rather than full web publication. Anthropic and major search engines updated the indexing controls to remove the cached results, while cybersecurity experts emphasize that enterprise teams must audit how employee interactions with AI assistants are governed to prevent sensitive operational data from leaking online. with napenda vile like AI is scary sometimes, guys. Yo. Anyway, at the annual Torta Fair in Mexico City, dozens of local sandwich makers teamed up to build a grand 100-meter-long traditional Mexican torta. Now, to put that in perspective, that's as long as a full-size soccer pitch. This mega sandwich didn't just set a length record, it weighed in at a staggering 1.5 tons. Teams of chefs worked side by side in a massive assembly line, packing the bread with over 50 different fillings, ranging from classic carnitas and ham to mole and artisanal cheeses. Once official Guinness adjudicators confirmed the record, the giant sandwich was sliced up and served to the thousands of waiting festival goers. Now that is how you feed a crowd. Hey, wait, hiyo ni food. Yo, chakula guys, unajua kuna watu wengine they've never had tortillas and that's hiyo ni nyama mingi guys. Najua my producer will be very happy to visit that place. In fact, I can hear yes, tunaenda ukamesema. Man. Thank you so much guys for watching. That was the Now Report on TV47. Tuonaneni kesho. Until then, take care and have a lovely day.